Hauraki Big Show with Jase, Mike and Keyzie. Tune in weekdays at 4 on Radio Hauraki.
Yes, indeed. New order there on the Radio Hauraki Big Show this Monday afternoon. The time, 13 minutes past 5 o'clock. Now, the new challenge has been set with the fellas from Breakfast. The Big Show is taking on Breakfast in a 4x100 metre relay.
Yeah, I've been thinking a lot about this over the weekend. So Jeremy Wells can't do it. He's got arthritis in his knee. His surgeon said it could do everlasting damage.
Oh, yeah.
I still think we should maybe get another doctor to ring through and just double check it. So they got G-Lane replacing him. I thought about this, and let's say we take off and I'm racing Ruder, the producer, right?
Yeah.
I like to think I'd be able to beat him, but only just.
Yeah.
Then hand it off to Mogi, who's racing Zoe, the other producer. I think you'd be able to beat her too, not by much. Minogue versus Pugson, I think that'd be pretty even, which means G-Lane versus Hoyte J.
Yeah.
We're going to have to be like 50 metres in front.
You reckon?
By that point. Jace?
That's not showing a lot of support or faith in what you're bringing to the table here, Jase.
Thanks, mate.
Did you hear that from Keyzie? He reckons you got nothing.
I know.
Well, I know you're not going to do any practice, any warm-up. You're just going to...
I know Keyzie is concerned because he keeps banging on about it in the chat.
Yeah.
You know, now Hoyte J. And when he starts with now Hoyte J, I know he's about to lecture me.
No, it's not a lecture. It's just that you have this thing where you won't practice, you won't warm up, even though you're 43 in inverted commas. And then all of a sudden, I just know that you're not going to take it seriously like we all are.
And yet I still dominate on the fairways.
Do you though? Do you though?
No, look, I take your point, Keyzie. I'm not the young buck that I once was. You know what I mean? And
neither am I. Jeez.
But
I just want you to warm up.
That's
and
what
practice.
it is. Well, I guess the problem is, Jase, your muscles, they're kind of like a beef jerky, something like that. And if you start stretching that, the muscle actually just chips away and crumbles off in your hand.
You're right.
So you're better off saving it for the one performance across the 100 metres than wasting your energy and the results you're going to get on stretching.
So you're in favour of him not stretching and not warming up.
All I need is for Jase to be able to, have the strength in his, to have the grip strength to be able to hold on to the baton. And I'm not completely convinced he can do that. And then just to make it the 100 metres. That's all I'm asking for you.
Look, and you make a really fair point. I mean, my muscles are beef jerky.
Yes.
And you're right. They've got 100 metres in them.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And by the time I get to that finish line, my muscles and my beef jerky will be completely disintegrated.
That's right. And I don't want you to get to sort of 80, 90 metres and then it's like a sniper's taking a shot at you from the top of the grandstand and you hit the deck. I mean, it's going to be interesting. I mean, this is certainly not the battle of the fittest, is it? It's not at all. It's, we are a ragtag bunch of losers and putting us in any kind of a race or competition. Well, I guess it's comedy. But I'm genuinely concerned about it having a long-term injury.
100%, same here. I did a practice run over the weekend, just a short one, about 50 metres. I raced my wife.
How'd you go?
She was like, I'll start like 20 metres ahead of you and we'll race to the tree. I beat her.
Yeah.
Smoked her, which I was stoked about.
Yes.
I went about 80% and I was like, oh, yeah. Instantly afterwards, when I stopped, my ankle was really sore.
Yeah.
And then this morning I woke up and my plantar fascia in my foot was quite sore.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
what?
Plantar fascia. It's a term you'd hear if you went to the physio when you're injured, like I do, Jase. We've got a clip from Brecky. Should we play that next?
Yeah.
We'll play it next or
next. Let's play it next. Should we save it?
This is Pearl Jam.
It doesn't sound like a message from Brecky.
No, this is Pearl Jam. No, you said we were going to play it next, remember?
Oh, okay. I said now.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did say now.
What? Did you
tune.
really?
This is a tune, though. Turn it up.
The Hauraki Big Show. Weekdays from 4 on Radio Hauraki.
Yeah, welcome back, you massive backbones. You're listening to The Big Show. Fellas, I tell you what, there's been some changes in my home that I've been talking about over the last couple of weeks. We got insulation put in.
Yeah, glory hole.
That's been there for ages.
Yeah, but not in between the hallway and the study.
That's weird.
Oh, yeah, that one's a new one.
Yeah.
We've actually got 5 glory holes.
Yeah.
Because, you never know when
When the need's going to take you. One that
yeah.
goes from the larder, and even the fact that you've got a larder was a shock to me, into the wash house.
Yeah. That's my favourite one, actually.
Oh, yeah.
What about didn't you have one put in your garden shed?
Yeah.
My favourite one, absolute favourite, and this is outside of the house, so it doesn't really count, but the one that goes from the back fence over to your neighbour's joint.
Yeah. That was a good one. Actually, funny you
At
should
the
mention...
retirement village.
You should... you mentioned the garden shed there. Of course, that was aluminium.
Yeah.
And that was an absolute bastard to cut a hole in that. And I've cut myself on it a few times too.
You didn't put like a rubber grommet around
No, she's just a sharp edge, and you got to be real careful when you're doing that one.
Well, that's the thing though, but once you've sort of worked on your technique enough, it shouldn't be an issue.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. But the weird thing about that one is that it's like goes out the back of the garden shed, and there's just like a big gorse bush there.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make any
Straight
sense.
into a gorse bush,
Yeah. I tell you what, takes all sorts. But... and, of course, I got my heat pump last year as well.
Oh, yeah.
So my house is so toasty.
Yeah.
Fellas, it's got to the point now where I don't have to wear clothes at all.
Too warm.
It's too warm.
Right.
My mother-in-law stayed the other night, and she said she was so hot and sweaty
Did she
all
just
night.
strip down to her lingerie that you bought her for Christmas?
Not even that, apparently. It's just been a revelation. Who knew that insulation and a heat pump could make such a difference?
How good is the insulation, Jase?
It is so good, Mogi.
Yeah. Have you
It's
noticed
so
a
good.
difference, man?
Oh, look, I would say about 3 to 4 degrees.
Right. That's significant.
Yeah, that's a significant, because usually in my house in winter we're running about 4 or 5 degrees in the
Yeah.
house. We're up to 9 or 10 now.
Jeez, that's good.
And there's just something so good about being able to strut around your own house totally naked.
Yeah.
The other thing that would help too is if you made like some small sort of cork type things that you can jam into all the glory holes when you're not using them, just to keep the heat in.
Oh, no, I like those left open because I never know when I'm going to use them.
Right,
So
that's right.
It would literally take
yeah.
3 seconds just to pull it out. You know what I mean? And just
Usually takes me longer than that, but yeah.
okay. Oh, that's great news, Jason. I'm glad your house is nice and warm, man. That's good.
The Hauraki Big Show with Jase, Mike and Keyzie. Tune in weekdays at 4 on Radio Hauraki.
News there on the Radio Hauraki Big Show this Wednesday afternoon, the time 5:42. Don't forget, by the way, to go on our Instagram account and vote on the big poll for the new, what would you call it? Name of What's for Tea New Zealand with me, Keyzie.
I love it when you start talking and then realise you don't actually know what you're talking about.
All the time.
And we're sitting here like we could say it if you want.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
You go and vote if you want to change the name of that award-winning segment. Something I'm thinking of changing, fellas, is, and you might have noticed today that I haven't shaved.
Yeah.
My face has got a few extra hairs on it. Have you noticed that?
Look like you grow you've got a lot of thick stubble there, Keyzie. You mad
Yeah, I
dog.
do have thick stubble, and my wife actually says it's sore, like it's prickly.
Yeah.
Right, well, where are you putting it?
Well, when I ever go near her for like a hug or a kiss or something
Oh, yes.
Yeah. I reckon you'd get a good bush going, actually.
around my face.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I want to talk to you guys about. Is I'm actually thinking for the first time I might grow a beard.
Yes, please.
What do you reckon?
I think so.
Yeah, I think that's great.
Do you think it would look good?
There's no lose. That's a win-win.
Really?
Yep.
Because it'll take the focus away from your mow a little bit.
Jace, what I'm looking for here is a bit of like positive.
That's what I mean, yeah.
No, but
it'll
what
be
you've done
good.
here is make it sound positive, but it's actually negative.
In what way?
Well, in the sort of, I really enjoyed Upper Middle Bogan, but you're actually taking the piss out of it that way.
I didn't get that vibe at all.
Thank you, Mogi.
Right, okay.
I genuinely enjoyed
See?
Upper Middle Bogan.
I guess, I think it would look great. I think if you've never grown one, you need to know what it's going to look like. So you need to have a good, honest crack at it.
This is going to sound weird, but how do you grow a beard? Because basically I don't want really long, patchy bits. Do you constantly shave it with like a 3
No,
or
you just
4
leave
mil
it.
clipper
You just leave it.
and just even it out?
Nah,
No,
Really?
you just
you
leave
just
it.
go full bush.
You do. You just leave it alone. And then once it gets to a length, then you can tidy it up. But you
can
don't tidy it up
trim
as you
and
go.
so forth. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Because I've tried before.
It's win-win. Like, it could look great. What if it looks great?
If it looks great, that's great.
And then if it looks terrible, also great.
Why is that great?
Well, it's great for the radio show. You know, we'll be doing lots of stuff on the Instagrams, etc.
Old shitbeard Keyzie.
You're so good with naming stuff.
Yeah, you are, man.
Not really. All we do is say old something Keyzie or old something Mogi.
That's got a ring to it, though. Yeah, but that's right. But well, maybe we're all growing beards, are we? Because
Well,
Jase, you can grow an absolute shitter.
I can, man. I totally can.
How long have you been growing that one?
Well, I actually trimmed it today.
Did
what
you?
length?
1.
That's
Yeah.
a number 1.
Yes.
But you've got hair on your face.
Looks like you've got mange.
No, but because if you get a number 1 all over, isn't it like
You know why that is? It's because what happens, Mogi, and you're the same,
Yeah.
is you get different colours in
Thank
there. Like
you.
your greys.
I'm a mongrel.
And in your case, a deep ginge.
Yes, I get ginger and grey and black and
thus
brown.
it gives it a patchy
Yes.
kind of. Whereas you, Keyzie, you're still a young buck,
Thick and black.
and it's going to be thick and black.
Yeah. I think it'll be long and thick and black.
that sounds great.
Yeah. AC/DC.
The Hauraki Big Show. Weekdays from 4 on Radio Hauraki.
Filter there on the Radio Hauraki Big Show this Thursday evening. Now, Keyzie and I had a golf game today out in the beautiful course in Waitakere. Beautiful it is. And we had a bit of a freak occurrence. Explain it, please, Keyzie.
And actually, this, now that I think about it, this is actually golf chat. Sorry, Phil, I'll just play the sting.
Golf Chat with Double Bogey Mogi.
The only thing wrong with that sting is a clean sounding stroke
Yes.
followed by a round of applause as opposed to any effing and jeffing
That's right.
and sort of people mocking.
It
and
should-
also-
it should be quintuple bogey.
That's the other
Mogi.
thing. That's
Yeah.
right.
And the other thing, too, is no one would applaud if you shanked it and had to yell 4.
Exactly. Yeah.
So whoever made that doesn't know much about golf.
It might have been a sarcastic clap, but it didn't feel like it.
Yeah, sure.
Sorry, Pugs is upset about it. Sorry, Pugs, love you, man. So the reason we're bringing this back up again is we talked about it earlier in the show, and a heap of texts came through. Myself and Jase were standing off to the side of the tee box. Minogue hit a shot with his driver. It hit the heel of his driver and went almost 90 degrees sideways. Missed both myself and Jase just by millimeters and went clean through the shaft of my driver, which I was leaning on. It snapped my driver in half.
Yeah.
Freak accident. You could never repeat it if you did it 10,000 times. It was amazing. The conundrum was, does he now have to pay for a replacement driver? Which, by the way, it's just cheap. Less than $200, right?
Right.
So it's not like a $600, you know. And Mogi, you actually had a thought that ended up with me having to pay for the whole thing.
That's right. Jase, you came in and you did a reconstruction of the event.
Yes.
You placed me in a position where I would have been on the golf course, and then you played the role of Minogue.
I did.
You took a stroke there and there. It was looking pretty good there and there. Anyway, what I gathered from that demonstration was that you and Keyzie were both standing in front of Minogue when he took
Yes.
took the
Slightly,
stroke.
but next to him, yeah.
Yes. Now, would you be within rights to assume that you would not be possible to be hit by the ball? Absolutely. But nevertheless, you were in front of him when he played the stroke. So I sort of think, well, it's kind of the risk you take when you stand in front of somebody that's hitting a ball forwards that you may get struck. That was
Yeah.
kind of what I thought.
And you know, I see your point, Mogi. I mean, if you don't want that scenario happening, you stand behind the player playing
Knowing
the shot.
damn well that he's
terrible.
He's prone to making those shots.
This was truly freakish, though, and it just went at 100 miles an hour. So how he managed to get that pace on it and to go at like 90 degrees was phenomenal.
Yeah.
It was mind-blowing stuff, fellas.
Kudos.
A lot of texts on 3483. Might be a good time to retire your piece of shit old bamboo clubs, Keyzie. Or you could just take the broken club and give it to Jase because he's short.
That's true.
Because it snapped in half.
You buy that for a hundy, man?
Oh yeah, if you sort of file off the broken bit.
What about this bit here? Sell all your golf clubs and go back to indoor netball.
That's how I was feeling after the game today.
Here, Jase will love this one as well. Hoyte Jizz could have blocked the ball with his massive piece. You love that, man?
Yeah, totally.
You love that, eh?
I think it did actually ricochet off my piece, but it just did. I didn't feel it.
Get a new shaft, you muppet. So the problem is my club is less than $200. The cost of getting a new shaft, getting it installed, I may as well just get the same club again off Trade Me.
I completely agree.
You know what Keyzie was really gutted about, though, Mogi, is that he's just had all of his clubs re-gripped.
Oh, yeah.
And so he had a brand new grip on his
used it
driver.
once.
He used it once and it was snapped.
That didn't solve the problem, the grip.
No, I was driving beautifully. Yeah, so I was really, really gutted about that. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go replace it, and I'll just say, hey, man, buy me a beer or something.
The Hauraki Big Show with Jase, Mike and Keyzie. Tune in weekdays at 4 on Radio Hauraki.